Top three finishers of the F1 Sprint ahead of the FIA Formula One Austrian Grand Prix. In third place, Lando Norris. In second place, Oscar Piastri. And taking his 10th career sprint victory and his third of the 2024 campaign, our winner, Max Verstappen. Very well done, Max. That was a very exciting race in the early laps. How hard was it to come out on top today?
Yeah, definitely in the beginning was quite tricky. I mean, Lando stayed in my DRS, and I was just struggling a little bit for grip at that point as well. And yeah, it's just very difficult to judge around here how much you lose through the corners following and how much you gain with the DRS around the lap, because of course it's a triple activation, which is a lot. So yeah, we had to really fight for it. We had a few good close battles here and there, defending, overtaking. And basically, once I could clear the DRS, and you could settle in a bit more, and you could drive around your own pace. But the pace was high, you know, it was really not looking after tires much, I think, and yeah, surviving a bit to the end, because of course naturally then tires drop off quite a bit the last few laps. But it was cool, it was fun.
Well, I'm going to say, how much fun was it? And can you talk us through the battle with Lando in particular on lap 5?
I didn't expect him to go up the inside in turn 3. But yeah, I was just struggling with clipping, grip. So he went for it. Then I still had, of course, the toe, not the DRS. And yeah, I decided to go back into turn 4. And it was good fighting.
Were you worried about Oscar as well? Maybe getting down the inside?
I mean, I knew that Oscar was very close to the battle, and I knew that once we were breaking late into 4 on the exit, you know, you're looking around, where is everyone? And then I could see Oscar in my mirror as well. So then I had, you know, the two McLaren side by side behind me. So yeah, they pushed me very hard today in the race.
Max, the focus turns now to the Grand Prix itself, qualifying next, the race tomorrow. What have you learned so far this weekend that's going to help you for the remainder?
That it's close, you know, it's a tight battle. Ideally, you look in a few details what you can do better, but I need to go back to the team, you know, and look back at the race as well and as a whole. But yeah, naturally, you always try to look for improvements in the car when you can, and you can change the car around it.
All right, very well done. Thank you, Max. Oscar, let's come to you now. And can we start by getting your take on those frenetic early laps? Did you think Max was beatable at that point?
I thought so, yes. Yeah, he obviously had quite a good start compared to Lando and I, and then yeah, kind of just managed to stay in the DRS and got to the back of him, and yeah, Alex on the grid summed it up well. I was sitting there with my popcorn waiting for whatever was going to unfold, and yeah, obviously just stayed patient, and I managed to get Lando, and yeah, not quite enough to get Max, but yeah, just struggled a little bit in the second half of it. I think everyone was probably struggling with tyres a bit, but yeah, just didn't quite have the pace to keep challenging in the second half of the sprint.
So Max slips away, and you spent the majority of that race protecting your second place from your teammate. How tough was it to stay ahead of him without DRS?
It was tough at the start, definitely. I think, yeah, you know, once the car behind gets into the DRS, you know, they have 3 shots at it. I think, to be honest, the tyres at that point were so hot for everybody that the DRS wasn't having anywhere near as much of an impact as it did at the start of the race. So, yeah, the last few laps it was a little bit more comfortable, but yeah, would take was one mistake. So, yeah, a difficult sprint.
Oscar, you came out of Barcelona last weekend feeling a little frustrated. Is this result proof that you're in a happier place with the car here in Austria?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've got all the answers from Barcelona on what we did wrong and what went wrong in the weekend. I think, yeah, was much happier with the car and in practice straight away, and yeah, obviously in sprint quali yesterday it was a good result, and today as well. So yeah, I'm hoping Barcelona stays as a one-off.
All right. Thanks, Oscar. Lando, let's come to you now. You gave us plenty of excitement during those early laps. Can you just give us your take on the battle with Max?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good battle. I knew there were not going to be too many opportunities to try to do it. So yeah, I had to go for a bit of a move into turn 3. and then I was just pretty stupid into turn 4 and left the door open. So not a lot, to be honest. It was 2 corners we battled, and that was it. And then Oscar managed to come past. So I tried. Obviously, it didn't go to plan, but the pace in the car was pretty good, and I think we gave it a good shot. But it wasn't quite enough today. So nice to have 2 cars up there. Nice to have 2 cars, trying to fight against Max, and that's what we need on Sunday.
Have you come away from this feeling a little frustrated? Do you think that was one that got away?
I mean, we're saying this every weekend now, so I'm not going to say it again. But I should have done. I'm not going to say should have done, but I needed to do a better job, and I just did something pretty stupid and silly, which was not very smart of me. So, no, I think a good amount of points. It could have been a lot worse, and for a team, it was still a good result, and the result we wanted. So, I'm happy. But yeah, I need to do things better.
Well, let's look at the positives, Lando. How much confidence does your pace today and yesterday in the sprint qualifying give you for the remainder of the weekend?
I mean, a lot. I think we're in good shape. We're in form. It's clear that Max is still just that bit ahead of us. So, unless he doesn't make any mistakes, he's kind of got it for the time being. So we just need to execute what we're doing and do what we have been doing, which is a good job. But we need that a little bit more, and we're going to try to find that over lunchtime into qualifying to try and give ourselves one step better position than what I had today. But otherwise, we're just missing that little bit, and we'll do as much as we can to try and find it.
All right, good luck with that. Thank you, Lando. Have we got any questions in here? Yes, please. Scott.
Scott Mitchell-Mann from the race. It's a question to Max. This is another race that you've made a difference in yourself in a close battle with the McLarens or other cars. I know that races that you've won in the past by 20 seconds or more still obviously require an immense performance level from yourself. But how much satisfaction do you take from these ones? Do you feel at the moment that you're in a good run of making the difference as a driver in these key races that you could otherwise lose?
Well, I think, I feel good with the car. I think I'm working well with the team, to really extract everything out of the car. As you can see, it's very tight, and it's really like little details that can define a weekend nowadays between teams, which of course is very exciting. I mean, of course, naturally, I would like to win by 20 seconds, 30 seconds, because naturally you still do the best you can. You're still optimizing your performance. But now that it's a lot closer, then it requires you to be really on top form. And even today, I got challenged, I got passed, I went for it, got my place back, and we won the race. Is that then a guaranteed win for tomorrow? Absolutely not, because it's still going to be very close. So we do need to find little improvements for tomorrow, to probably stay on top. And again, qualifying now in the afternoon will define a lot anyway what's going to happen in the first stint tomorrow. But yeah, I'm happy. Of course, there are always things that I look at and will look back at that I want to work on or try and be better at. Of course, after a weekend, it's always easy to comment on these kind of things, but I think naturally as a driver, that's how it should be. I mean, you should never be saying, I'm happy and that's it. I'm going to go home and not think about anything and rock up the next race. That's not how it works.
Thank you, Max. Yep, another one, please.
Carlo Platella, Formula Passion. Max, yesterday you said that the balance was good from the beginning. Has anything changed from the last races where you and the team seemed to struggle to find the right setup until Saturday?
I mean, we tried to, of course, work on it, try to be better at it. But I think we had a good preparation going into the weekend. And yeah, luckily then, of course, it paid off as soon as the car, hit the ground. It was in a sensible window, and it was just, tiny adjustments to make it better. But that's positive, yeah. I mean, of course, you try to learn from difficult weekends and how to be better prepared for the next one.
Thank you. Yes, another one.
Andrew Benson, BBC Sport. Max, this is for you. The dispute between your dad and Christian Horner's broken out into the open again this weekend. How do you feel about that, and does it affect you in any way?
Well, I mean, naturally, of course, it's not nice. I think not for myself, not for my dad, not for Christian, not for the team. Of course, that you don't want these things to happen. I think, my dad has been quite clear about the reason behind it, and of course, I can understand his opinion on that, because at the end of the day, he gets asked to drive the car, finds out that he's not wanted to drive the car. While my dad, actually, he doesn't care about driving the car, but he got asked and said, please, do it for the fans, Dutch fans, blah, blah, blah. Red Bull, we have a great relationship with, home track. So I understand. On the other hand, I'm here, of course, to focus on the performance side of things. So I want a good relationship with everyone. But of course, this scenario could have been avoided. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Max. Any more?
Jake Boxall, Local Autosport. A question for Lando, please. Lando, you sound pretty self-deprecative about your first few laps of your race. Turn 4 aside, what kind of do you feel like you need to get out of yourself to start beating Max on a slightly more regular basis?
No, not much. Yeah, it's tiny things, but it's. I think as a race car, we're still missing a tiny bit, but that's not my excuse. Like for today, I think nothing more than turn 4. I think if I just defended and didn't leave the door open, it could a different story would have happened. But yeah, that might have been just one corner, and Max probably would have attacked me again the next lap. So I don't know. There's nothing in particular. I'm not feeling great, and still there's little opportunities that I feel like I just miss out on, and in hindsight I think, well, how stupid was I to do some of the things that I've done. But at the same time, I'm doing the best I can when I'm on the track. So I don't necessarily think of from what people are thinking on the outside. I know I've done things that aren't good enough and things that aren't at the level that they need to be, and I'm doing my best to improve on them, and that's all I can do for now.
Thank you, Lando. Any more? Yes,
yeah,
another one.
Ben Hunt from Autosport. Lando, I was just going to ask about your illness. Just wondered how much it is affecting you this weekend. You sound pretty run down. I wonder if it's a combination of all these races in a row, perhaps, but just how are you feeling?
No, I don't know. I can't say how much it's affecting me. It's not helping. That's probably the main thing. But I wouldn't say anything that's changing my performance on track. It's not to that level. So just just talking. So stop asking me stuff, and I'll be happy. Nothing that's affecting me. I don't think. But small things away from the track and just being tired and not sleeping good and that kind of stuff. So I'm sure a little bit, but nothing that I would use as an excuse to help me on track.
Thanks, Lando. All right, we'll leave it there.
And Perez is in the pits. One. Position 6.